The impeachment inquiry into the President of the United States has started since the last time we talked.
Thank you. I'm not optimistic, nor am I comfortable at all that this is going to lead to anything. As a matter of fact, as I was driving in today, and I'm going to throw this out at you in light of the last caller, I believe that the 2016 blip that people think is an anomaly is not an anomaly at all. I think what Trump tapped into is something very powerful. He tapped into white male fragility and the notion of losing the power that you talked about, the very power that you talked about. The power structure is crumbling, and Trump was speaking to that and made them feel like men, made them feel strong and powerful. That same drumbeat resonated with black men.
Yep.
So when we talked about, because I was looking at numbers, today is the anniversary of Barack Obama being elected to president, the first black president of the United States. Y'all do it as you may. This is a fact. When I looked at his exit numbers, 95+% black people voted for him, men and women. With Trump, 15% of black men actually pulled the lever for Trump. I think it's going to be the same. And it's that Kanye group. It's that group that the guys just called up, that they feel not powerful anymore, that the world is shifting. There's all of these different things going on. We got theys and thems now. I don't know what to do with that. We got women out there talking about they don't need us. We got this and this and that. And Trump is going to walk up the elevator with his wife behind him, not in front of him. He's going to have the umbrella over him, not her. He calls women bitches. He tells them he can grab them by the pussy. He does all of the things that a lot of men just, maybe they don't do it, but they like that somebody can and be president.
Right.
It resonates with them. And I was thinking, it still does. That portion's not going away. As a matter of fact, I think he might have galvanized more. I think he's going to get a lot of black men voting for him.
I don't know about more. I don't think he's done anything to impress anybody who wasn't already with him. But I agree that there's going to be, it's the same with the Hispanic vote, right? There's going to be a cadre of people, of black and brown people, who go in for the aggressive, toxic masculinity that Trump brings to bear. There's going to be a cadre of black and brown people who go in for the bigotry. I mean, like, we can talk amongst friends here. There's a lot of bigotry in our community. There's a lot of people who are black people who are from this country being bigoted towards immigrants. There's a lot of black people who are not from this country who are bigoted towards other African Americans. He was always going to be able to tap into the worst in our community in the same way that he is able to tap into the worst that is in America. Trump speaks for the worst people. Let's not fool ourselves and thinking that just because we have dark skin that immunizes us from being shitty, quite frankly, right? However, I don't think that is a definitive or defining stat in his reelection, because what I still look at are all of the black people and brown people and women who voted for Obama and then didn't vote at all in 2016. So yeah,
nothing's changed though, Elie.
The 15% of black men that voted for him last time will probably show up and trifle and vote for him again. Right? But there are people who didn't vote last time because they thought they didn't need to. They thought it wasn't important. They thought it was a joke. Okay. And if we can inspire those people, that should be enough. They're not being inspired,
though. And here's what I'm saying. Nobody's talking to black men. 866-801-8255. Not a single one of these can. Everyone's over-indexing on black women. You're not going to win against Trump just talking to black women. You're not going to win against Trump not engaging in talking to black men. And I'm saying this because I don't hear anybody talking to black men, period. And the only voice that actually resonates with black men is Donald Trump. And that's, I know you say this, but as I look at all of the candidates that are polling and doing well, there's no platform and agenda. And criminal justice ain't it.
No, I agree.
Because black men are not defined by criminal justice. You're not doing anything for black people because you are saying it's wrong to put black people in jail. Damn it, that's just wrong, period. But you're not addressing the actual, what is driving them to stay home or to show up. No one's speaking to them.
Okay, so 2 points though. First of all, let's not overrepresent what we're talking about here. We're talking about 12 to 15%. I mean, 85% of black men are like on board, right? Like 85% of black men have figured out that this is a sexist bigot who can't be reelected. A. B, I do think they're candidates that are talking to black men. I think Cory Booker is. I think Julian Castro is. I agree that talking straight up about criminal justice, about policing is not a doppelganger for talking to black men. But I do think that some of Castro's and Booker's stuff about police brutality is very important to black men with sons.
But neither one of them resonate with black men and how they show up in the world. 866-801-8255. I know I'm right about this.
Are you talking about like a hardness issue?
I'm talking about all it's because people, if we're being honest, Elie, and I know you get in the weeds of the details of things. Most people don't vote based on policy. They vote based on what's they don't. They just don't. So we can belabor the point and, sit here and wag our finger at people for not knowing more of the issues and what really matters. And I mean, I talked until I was blue in the face. I was like, it's about the Supreme Court. I don't give a damn about nothing else. Hillary Clinton could be a baby molester. And not really. But, I don't care what she did. It's about the Supreme Court. But literally people on the other side knew it was about the Supreme Court and actually put a molester in the office because they knew how important that was. We don't have that luxury. So what I'm saying is let's get out of our own intellectual way and understand that people aren't talking to black men. None of the candidates are talking to black men. And as a result, they're either going to stay home. And that 15% that you're talking about is huge when we talk about Obama won by 95%.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even 5% that Mitt Romney or John McCain got. 15% is huge when we're talking about a small population and we're talking about the tiny amount of numbers that he won in key states.
Right.
Where black people live.
Yep.
So 15% voting for Trump or staying home 30%? That's huge.
Which is why we have to focus on the people who are staying home. But when you're talking about this, you're talking about, I think you're talking, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think you're talking about the, what's the word? I use the word hardness. There's a desire, in my impression, my only anecdotal impression to be sure, in the black male community where we want people who are real, people who are hard, people who seem like they're tough, not necessarily in the kind of Trump way, because Trump is quite honestly and often very soft, right? He's quick-tempered and whiny a lot,
yeah, but
right?
that's not considered soft. But that's not considered soft.
It's considered soft by some.
It's not. Again, you're having an intellectual conversation, and I'm talking about lower vibrations here. When somebody sees Trump cuss people out, go on a Twitter rant, go up and tell people, yeah, I did that or whatever. So what? Yeah, what you going to do about it? Lie, all of this, lock them up. It speaks to something that nobody else is talking about. And it's working. Because for somebody who's not in the weeds and on Rachel Maddow every night, getting all the chapter and verse of every little detail of what, or even Trevor Noah, it resonates. It's simple.
But Obama wasn't talking hard, right? Obama wasn't rolling out there being like, but Obama
has
you're gonna mess up the Russians.
No.
Like, that's not how Obama came off.
But
Obama
he's a
came
black
off
man.
Very intellectual.
He was a black man with swag, though. The way he walked, he smoked cigarettes. He had a black wife with a booty.
I was about to say, Michelle Obama had more swag than Barack Obama ever did.
Don't disrespect that, because he chose her. A black woman with a booty who was very, 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 very black, raising 2 daughters, had swag, could play basketball. I'm putting up the air quotes because not really, but but he
knew it was important to play basketball.
Right. Chicago had a way, and the black women thought he was sexy. Mm-hmm. Dudes want, he was sexy. There's not a. I think Julian Castro's cute, but there's no one sexy.
You don't think Booker is sexy?
866-801-8255. I think you trolling me today. I think I'm being trolled by too many people, and I'm not here for it. You go ahead with all of that.